Dusk Till Dawn was released in 1996, it was directed by Robert Rodriguez, it was written by Quentin Tarantino, and this film stars George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Harvey Keitel, and Juliet Lewis. From Dusk Till Dawn tells the story of two criminal brothers, Seth and Richie Gekko, played by Clooney and Tarantino, who have kidnapped a family and trying to flee the country. They wish to go to Mexico, and at the border they wish to meet a contact who will help them at a place called the Titty Twister. But they discover that the bar that they visited, the Titty Twister, is actually a place that is populated by vampires. As always guys, thank you for supporting this channel. Please keep on supporting it. Hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. Hit the alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded. And I want you to give this video a like as well to help the channel grow. When I first saw From Dusk Till Dawn in 1996, my mouth dropped to the floor and I was like, what the hell did I just watch? When I was in college, we had this after school English class. And as part of the curriculum, we would watch movies. And one of the films that we watched was From Dusk Till Dawn, and we watched it in 2 parts. And I was like, my word. And it was only when I watched it again to review this film, it still hasn't lost its shock factor. From Dusk Till Dawn is 2 films, and it felt like it was directed by 2 different directors. The first half, it felt like a standard Quentin Tarantino crime flick. But then when we move to the second half of the film, you get this over-the-top horror film, filled with blood, gore, with the smart and clever writing of Quentin Tarantino and the visceral and energetic directing style of Robert Rodriguez. You have a highly entertaining film here. Quentin Tarantino, in addition to being a fantastic director, he is also a fantastic writer. And whilst I do have some reservations about his use of slurs in the film, you cannot deny the man's talent. And From Dusk Till Dawn is another excellent writing piece from Tarantino. And whilst From Dusk Till Dawn is a horror film, you can still feel Tarantino's thumbprint on this film. From the snappy dialogue to the signature trunk shot when we discover that they've kidnapped one of the victims. And that is a signature shot that he's used in pretty much every one of his films that he's done. When Seth Gekko, played by Clooney, goes to a hotel where they've got one of the hostages, he brings back some big kahuna burgers, a reference to Pulp Fiction. Tarantino made a guest appearance in Robert Rodriguez's film Desperado. And Desperado was another phenomenal film that just came out of left field. And in the second half of the film, where we see that the bar has been populated by vampires, and the vampires start going apeshit on everybody, killing people, we see a band is playing instruments with people's limbs. That scene is just so energetic and so visceral, it's reminiscent of another bar scene from Desperado, starring Antonio Banderas, where there's a brilliant shootout. The same energy you can see in both films. With Tarantino's work, there is always a nod to some particular genre. So with Pulp Fiction, you had a nod to the pulp crime novels and the graphic novels that had dark humor and violence, as was demonstrated in Pulp Fiction. Jackie Brown was a nod to the blaxploitation era. You had Kill Bill, which was a nod to the martial arts genre. Django Unchained, which was a nod to the spaghetti western. And From Dusk Till Dawn is a nod to the 1970s zombie movies. The casting in From Dusk Till Dawn is very unique. And whilst Tarantino was a writer in this film, I don't know how much input he had creative-wise in terms of who was hired. With him and Robert Rodriguez, I've noticed that they tend not to go for conventional A-list actors. They tend to go for the more unconventional actor, someone who will breathe life into the role, or somebody who was popular in a particular era and they wish to give them a more significant role now. And we've seen them do that many a times, both in Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. And the same can be said for this particular movie, From Dusk Till Dawn. George Clooney as Seth Gekko. George Clooney was a TV actor, and he was still starring in ER at the time. And George Clooney as Seth Gekko, he was incredibly cool and incredibly charismatic. And Clooney adopted that same style of calm and charisma when he played Jack Foley from Out of Sight, and when he starred as Danny Ocean in Ocean's 11. George Clooney, he had humor, he had style, and he had charm, and it was a really good acting role for him. And the role of Seth Gekko wasn't originally written for George Clooney. Collaborators of Robert Rodriguez, Antonio Banderas was offered the role, but he turned it down. Collaborators of Tarantino, Michael Madsen, Tim Roth, Steve Buscemi, they were offered the role of Seth, but they turned it down. Even when Tarantino was getting ready to film Pulp Fiction and was writing From Dusk Till Dawn at the same time, he offered the role to John Travolta, but John Travolta turned it down and offered to do Pulp Fiction instead. Tarantino as an actor is very limited, but his role as Richie was necessary, and he was quite menacing. And even he said that when he was filming it and writing it at the same time, he realised that his character didn't have that much dialogue. And he said that whilst we were filming, it was too late for him to rewrite some scenes of the film. We have frequent collaborators of Quentin Tarantino. Harvey Keitel as the Reverend Fuller. I like Harvey Keitel as an actor, and I loved his role, and particularly the arc of the Reverend Fuller, purely because he is a priest who has lost his faith. And it was time to reignite that faith when it came to them realizing that there were vampires and using a cross to defend himself. That was ingenious, the way that they did that. We see collaborators who've worked with both Tarantino and Rodriguez. So we see Danny Trejo, who worked with Robert Rodriguez in Desperado, and then will go on to further collaborate with him in such films as the Spy Kids movies and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. We also see the late Michael Parks, who stars as the sheriff in this film, and again, he will collaborate further with Tarantino in films such as Kill Bill 1 and 2, Django Unchained, Death Proof. Other supporting actors in this movie: Cheech Marin, the gorgeous Salma Hayek, Fred Williamson. We also see two actors in this movie, and for me, I thought it was really weird casting. You see the late Kelly Preston and the late John Saxon. John Saxon as an FBI agent out to chase the Gekko brothers, and Kelly Preston as a reporter. It was just, when I see them, I'm like, wow. I wonder what made them cast them for that movie. From Dusk Till Dawn was a low-budget movie made for $13 million. And after 25 years, the visual effects and the makeup still hold. It's still as shocking now as it was back then. When I did my research for this movie, I learned that there were more far brutal and more graphic death scenes in the bar sequence from Dusk Till Dawn. But Tarantino didn't want them included because even he couldn't watch it. And this is a man who is known for gratuitous violence in his movies. From Dusk Till Dawn is an exhilarating ride. And at 25 years old, it is still entertaining. And the legacy of this movie is that it spawned 2 sequels. It even spawned a video game and a TV show. But the first film, From Dusk Till Dawn, is thoroughly entertaining, and it is still the best. So if you haven't watched it in a while, give it a watch. If you haven't seen it before, watch it. From Dusk Till Dawn is an excellent addition to the filmographies of both Robert Rodriguez, George Clooney, and Quentin Tarantino. This was a highly original and thoroughly entertaining film, which I'll give a very strong 8 out of 10 to. So guys, that's my review. As always, thanks for supporting this channel. Please keep on supporting it. I want you to hit that subscribe button so you can follow this channel. Hit the alarm bell as well so you can get notifications from me when my video is going to be uploaded. Give this video a like as well. Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn? What do you think about it? What's your favourite scene from that movie? Comment down below, and I shall see you all on the next film review. Take care.